ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of Wrestle Talk with Bear and B-Dub on another edition of B-Dub's Thoughts. Now, going into the final edition of the WrestleMania reviews, the last WrestleMania, WrestleMania 26, live in Glendale, Arizona. Now, this WrestleMania I was excited about. It was a return of the Hitman. Return of Bret the Hitman Hart after 13 years after the Montreal experience. But so that's and then we also had Career versus Street. So it was a lot of things, but it was a good opening. Seeing the Miz making his WrestleMania debut. You guys know the Miz went from the first match on the card to possibly the last match. Not sure how they're gonna do the card this Sunday, but so he'd be the last match, first to last, huh? Last person.
If you like him like that.
I'm just saying.
Okay, yeah.
Bret did it in one night. First match against Owen. Last match against Yoko. Decent match. The match I was looking forward to was Randy Orton taking on his former Legacy team members against Cody Rhodes and DiBiase Jr. in a triple threat match. I thought it was a decent match. Orton, of course, left with the victory. Mm-hmm. Money in the Bank was interesting this year because, it wasn't the most, oh my gosh, a lot of high moment Money in the Bank match. But what it did have was Jack Swagger winning the title.
Yep.
And then he won the Money in the Bank and then cashed in immediately on Thursday on Friday, excuse me, showing my age, on SmackDown. So I thought that was interesting. Triple H and Sheamus. Sheamus had beat up Triple H and they two didn't like each other and Triple H beat him in the match, but then he would lose the next month at Backlash to him. So, whatever.
But if you looked at that match, it was one of... I was pleasantly surprised about it because I'm not a big Sheamus fan. I think he's one of those guys that's like a Batista. He comes in real strong and he'll burn out in 2-3 years. And
you think so?
Triple H thinks he's got staying power. I don't think he does, but, he's still around, so,
Listen here, fella. You don't think I got staying power?
He can't even say W's.
It's the WWF.
And he hasn't, with all that money, he doesn't have a tan. Triple H looked like a black person to him.
Yeah, growing up, I'll let you know a little secret. I thought Hogan was black when I was younger. If I was younger, I would think Triple H was black.
Did you get these? Oh, you did
understand the concept of tanning. Whatever.
Well,
you gotta admit, he was dark-skinned looking. But, Rey Mysterio, remember that match? Him against CM Punk and Ray lost. He had joined Straight Edge Society. Thank God he won. They got annoying real fast. But one of my favorite moments in this WrestleMania was when the Hart family came out, and Vince McMahon goes, "Well, your family sold you out, Bret. I bought them. I had the money, and they all sold you out." And then Bret gets in the ring. So this how it is? Was one thing I know about the Hart family is that they told me that he said you guys got your money first, and then he goes into that, and it was excellent. Of course Bret couldn't wrestle. Out of Vince McMahon, out of his matches with all his stars against all his stars, this was the worst because Bret was just after having a stroke, it was good to see him in the ring, but you knew Bret wrestling in shorts. You knew he wasn't going to really hit the heart attack moves and all the cool moves he used to do.
Out of all the ones B-Dub said after all these matches, this was more even because, Bret just got over post-stroke and...
Well, years ago, but still.
the stroke is the stroke. My dad had a minor stroke and he had a full-blown one. So I can't imagine. And then you look at Vince McMahon. Once again, Vince wrestling. I know he's, if I can't do it and nobody's doing it type of attitude.
Yeah.
But I think that match was like for the fans really, because everybody thought Bret Hart got screwed. I thought Bret Hart got screwed. I'm a Shawn Michaels fan, but I didn't like how he did.
And it was just a way to get wrestling fans. So
basically for the fans to see Bret Hart get his revenge.
Yeah,
basically.
put it like that's very well put. Jericho and Edge. This match I was disappointed in.
Really?
Yeah, because
I'm kind of
surprised I said that.
Surprised because I thought it was going to be why you thought it was going to be more backstabbing? I thought it was a straight up and down match that Edge just lost.
Well, it was but it was okay. So you build this match. Jericho left. Him and Edge, Edge got hurt, and Jericho wins the title with the Big Show and talk about he didn't need Edge. Mm-hmm. Then, Edge shows up at the Royal Rumble after Jericho had trash talked him. When he showed up at the Royal Rumble, it was like a big surprise he eliminated him. So, it had all the makings for Edge to win the title. And then if Jericho was going to win, it was just too simple. I guess I wanted more drama with it. It was just too simple. I mean, then at the end, Edge hit him with the spear and beat him up. But the match, it was a good match, but the ending, which really, made you forget how good the match was.
Yeah, it did, but I was I was a little impressed. Like I said, by now Edge grew on me, and I was cheering for Edge, and you look at that type of match, and I was like, wow, maybe I can start getting back into wrestling, because that match was great. Yeah. I found respect for Jericho now.
Okay.
After looking at his DVD, Behind the Code.
Well, that's teacher's own. Divas match wasn't really nothing worth talking about. The heels one. Yeah. But John Cena and Batista. So going into this match, you have Cena talking about, you have Batista just whining and crying about, we two came at the same time and we both won the belt at WrestleMania 20, WrestleMania 21, and they like you, but they don't like me. Shut up. That's how I felt. Like, I watched the match, because it was on, but it wasn't like, I think for so many years, they had kind of built towards it and kind of teased at it.
Right.
Teased at it with the video games, but if they didn't run Cena and Orton in a hole, that would have been the perfect spot for that match. Those two had great matches. This is that people are tired of seeing it. But John Cena and Batista, I understand why they did it. It's just, I thought the WrestleMania match wasn't really all that.
Me too. I agree with you on that, because I didn't like how that whining thing. I was like, once again, I think Batista was one of those wrestlers that burns out after a while, and you look at him now and like, where's he at now?
Yeah. But then the main event, the streak versus the career. Now, I had been saying, I remember watching this match. Watching everybody when it's another crossing fingers moment. I remember I was watching, I was thinking, I didn't want to see it before. I was like, they can't top last year. There's nowhere in the world. Why are they going to try it again? So then when they did it again, remember the Undertaker broke his leg early in that match. He came off the, doing old school, he came off the rope wrong.
Right.
But with that, it was still a phenomenal match. And, this one, they got a little down. They got real dirty,
Right. It was
table breaking, throwing each other. It was a lot of out-ring action, a lot of in-ring action, a lot of near falls.
Just like the first one.
Yeah, the first one was more, to me, a more wrestling match. It was like, I want to beat you. Shawn Michaels was willing to even let him get counted out. But this one seemed like it was a little bit personal, so.
It was it was his whole career. And that match, I was a firm believer when I was saying that you can't redo that first match. Mm-hmm. And I was pleasantly surprised when they almost at the same level. It wasn't the same level because we like, okay, he's gonna do that, and he's gonna do that, and then this is gonna happen. But they threw in a whole other wrinkle of wrestling moves in there that I was very
and honestly, when I looked at it, I was watching this, and I said, you know what, this was better than the first one. And I had watched.
No, that's you're by yourself with that.
Nah, I probably am, but I'm gonna tell you, go back and watch. You gotta see, and this one you have to watch 26, then you gotta go watch 25, or vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to watch both of them, and then you'll see where I'm coming from.
Well, okay.
You got to. You can't, because when you think about it, 25 automatically jumps in your head. You automatically think, yeah, 25, it was great, it was this, it was that.
Right.
But then when you sit back and you're like, wait a minute. Let me look at 26, and then you watch it like, wait a minute. That might have been better.
Nah. I still say 25 was better. But I'm not discounting 26 because it was still a great match.
And Shawn's career was online. Big WrestleMania moment in this one when he's looking up at the Undertaker on his knees and he's going like that. And then Undertaker is like, oh, no, you didn't. Picks him up and jumps. To the tombstone. 1, 2, 3. And then it was just like, you know, it was good. Bottom line.
It was an emotional ending. He went out crying, saying his kids are going to get tired of him. You know, that type of thing.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. And we have reviewed all the WrestleManias. Now, we're going to do one more episode. Probably two. One more episode. Which we will do, what we'll be doing is giving you our predictions. On our next episode, we're going to give you our predictions and we're going to look for your predictions as we go home into WrestleMania 27.
A go-home episode.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This is B-Dub of Wrestle Talk with Bear and B-Dub. This is Stever filling in. Make sure you follow him at Stever1184 on Facebook. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to tune in to our next episode. And you know what? Before I do that, I want to give a shout out to some faithful fans of Wrestle Talk with Bear and B-Dub. If you look at the page, you'll see a lot of comments. And forgive me if I don't get all of you. I'll try to get you on the next show. But, you know, it's just some names that's sticking out right now. So I got to mention you guys. That's of course my man Cameron G. Cam, me and him see eye to eye on a lot of things. Both of us got the same favorite WrestleMania 9. We see eye to eye on the Bret Hart versus any technical wrestler, and you know Hogan. Carlos James Abbott, he always got a good thing to say. Manny, Deji or Deha, I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong.
You gotta get the names right here, man. Shout out.
I'm just saying, I mean, ain't like I got the computer in front of me. You know, that's why I said I apologize ahead of time. Freddie Jones, like I said, if I ain't Brian Keelbelly, it's a lot of course, you, B. Ryan, Chris Wade, AC Ray. If you haven't, make sure you check out their show. I'll have the information posted. But like I said, bottom line is it's a lot of good fans out there, and that's what gives me the inspiration to keep going, to make sure I make posts on the web page. Just the drive, you know, is the force behind it, and that's why I can't wait to see what you guys have to say when you check out this episode. So thanks for joining us, and be sure to tune in as we give you a go home to WrestleMania show. Thank you.